Hey, this is Arsenette from Rambling Rican, back with an update. My last video was on downloading the actual game. I managed to play the following day and spent about 10 minutes trying to figure out what my name was gonna be because I couldn't use any variation of Boricua, which is fine. I still managed to get a Puerto Rican thing because amapola, which means poppy actually, like the flower, in Spanish, is actually the name of a hibiscus that is native to Puerto Rico. So that's the Puerto Rican national flower, so I still managed to get a Puerto Rican thing in there. But it's still normal enough that people just know it as a flower and not necessarily, I guess Puerto Ricans can figure out if, I don't know, how many of y'all actually know the national flower of Puerto Rico? I always did, but you know, so I ended up picking that. None of my alt's names were available, none of the other character names that I've used to use. I mean, it has been 9 years, so I'm sure somebody's gotten it. And of course, I'm not going to have a variation of cat, which is gato or gatita or anything like that, because that was like probably the first ones that were taken. I am seeing a lot of Puerto Rican words or Spanish words, and it's interesting. There's a lot of us out there, and I can find my people everywhere. So anyway, as you notice, I have some recording issues. I had originally used OBS Classic, which I've been using forever, and I didn't even know there was another version of it, but I used that and it had some weird rendering issues. I didn't realize it until I got like the entire first video, which was like 2 to 3 hours, and noticed that it's okay when it's standing still, and then I start turning it and it just turns real. So any kind of like movement, which is like 90% of combat, it just looks really weird. So I don't know what was going on with that. And I also wanted to see if I can try to stream it, and that's its own issues. So one thing at a time. So I was introduced to OBS Studio, which I tried for a bit with, you know, stream elements and all this extra stuff, and I can't get it to fit inside the window. I can play it with the thing behind it, but it doesn't. If I fold it back, I just kind of see the same thing looping over and over, and so I have to. I'm a dummy with this. I've never done any kind of streaming on my computer. The only time that I've used Twitch streaming was directly from my PS4. So you just hit a button and just kept doing it. Over here is a bit more tweaking, so right now that's kind of out of my wheelhouse. I don't have a streaming card or capture card or anything like that. I'm just using the original launcher with OBS Studio and hoping for the best. So until I make sure that the picture is more stable, and the later ones have been, I'm not going to try that out. Maybe within a week or so or two. My husband's gonna see if he can try to get me a second monitor, because I just have one computer, one monitor set up. And before, like when I would stream from the PS4, I would just use my iPad to see the side. But I wanted to see the stream elements part, so like, you know, with chat and any activities, you know, so I can notice when followers come in, you know, that sort of thing. I wanted that to be able to be seen, but you can't do that on an iPad. You can see, you know, as a regular viewer, what a viewer would see, but not the things that I would want to see to monitor that information, and being able to change whatever I would need on the stream easily, as opposed to folding the game down and seeing it. Just, you know, it's just not set up the right way. So I'll see how that works out. I'll let you guys know. Again, follow me on social media, so I can. Usually it's sort of like, hey, I'll be on in 20 minutes. So in the meantime, my husband and I have been having a lot of fun. We've been playing anywhere between 1 hour to 3 hours a night. It's still, you know, work nights for him. And so I try not keeping up too late. And of course, we've played before. We've played from the beginning before. And so we already had in our minds what the different setups on how to come back. It has been 9 years, so it's, where do we start? So we started a normal. There is, for returning players, if you've wanted to start off from the beginning, you can buy the, I think it's the limited secret collection or something like that. It's the entire thing. It's one code, and it has 2 neat features, which I would strongly recommend getting. It's a Destrier hat and a Jacobo blouse. And for those that are not familiar with it, the hat gives, I think it's speed movement, it gives re-raise, auto refresh, auto regen, all the way up to level 31. And I think the body, I forget what the body has, but the combination of them both is amazing. You don't have to change a body piece or head piece for 31 levels. So, and it's cute. I play these things because they're cute. So, but yeah, it's really interesting. The XP gain is a lot faster. It's, how to explain it? There's a lot of mechanisms in the game. For people that are not familiar with the game is like 16 years old now. It came out, it was like 2001, 2002 in Japan. And we got ours the end of this month, end of October of 2003. I thought it was 2002, it was actually 2003. And we came in with the expansion of the very first, the first expansion of the game. It was originally a PS2 game, and when the North Americans came in, we beta tested the PC release of the game. So it just, anybody just playing in computer, that was the first time it came out. And for the Americans and Europeans, I think Europeans came in either at the same time or when the PS2 version of the English came out, because I also had English, German, French, Spanish. I think that's it for the translations, but either way, those came out the following year in the late spring, if I'm not mistaken. I came in earlier than that, so I'm a little fuzzy on dates. But either way, the game is set up. It's PS2 hardware, so I know what I'm looking at. They have gotten some graphical changes, and there is a lot more content. There's a lot more streamlining. You now have the ability to call what I call trusts, well, what they call trusts, which are NPCs that can fill out your group. Your group can be up to 6 people. It could be literally a solo person with 5 NPCs. It could be 5 normal players with 1 NPC. It could be 6 normal players, you know. And in the past, well, the entire game is pretty much set up to be group related. And for the longest time, sitting there waiting for groups and stuff like that was a considerable issue. And as the population has gone down over the years, they have since lowered it. So now you can take NPCs with you to help you out. And you can fill out with as many normal people in there as you want. It just only the I think it's the party leader, the leader of the group, has the ability to call all the ones. So I like it a lot. It gives us the freedom to do whatever the heck we want, and we can call out, you know, a healer, a tank, you know, damage dealer, whatever on our own without having to worry about. Can't do that because we don't have the specific jobs. Now, granted, a lot of these were made so you can get to the now current level cap of 99 as quickly as possible. I mean, there are world records you can do this in under 10 hours. And that's with a lot of the extra little tchotchkes and stuff, a lot of unlocking. You can go straight to 50 before you have to start doing specific quests to unlock, you know, to 55, to 60, 65, 70, 75, all the way up to 99. They have 5 level intervals, and that's just part of the mechanic of the game. But all of that can be done in a day if you hardcore run it. We're taking a little bit more time, but I like the setup in which they did things. There's a lot of streamlining. The big kicker for us was the introduction of a free update called Rhapsodies of Vana'diel, which I believe now it's been about 1.5 years since it's been out. And it runs you through the story and allows you to streamline a lot of things, like getting sub jobs, getting certain NPCs quickly, taking you to places that used to take 45 minutes. Like literally one of them is going to a city called Norg. there were nightmares trying to get to Norg. You literally talk to somebody in Selbina and boop, you're in Norg. I mean, it was mind-blowing when I took a little thing and all of a sudden I ended up there. I'm like, I know, it took me 45 minutes to get there before. Waiting for the 2 airships, you had to unlock those specific airships. You had to be high enough to do this and survive going through the jungle. Oh my god, I can go through stories of how many of us, there was a death trail behind us. Somebody forgot to hit the button, so now we have no idea. Wait, what do you mean the NPC isn't talking to you? You forgot to pick up the mission? What's the name of the mission? Oh god. Yes, I still have PTSD and it's years later. But all that is gone because I believe basically the game is gearing you to get to 99 and then start working on getting to the item cap of 119, which is anybody that plays Final Fantasy XIV can understand item caps. So you get to a certain level and you just start building from there. But that's basically the real end game. And there's lots and lots of content that you can do that. And luckily we picked our old server, which is Azura. And Azura is packed. I am quite surprised how many people are there. I mean, just tonight we played and there were 2,000 people playing. It on a Thursday night. We were there on a Tuesday, and a Tuesday was like, 1900. I'm like, what? Over the weekend was almost 4,000. I didn't know there were that many people playing. They're all on Azure. I'm like, okay, how many of these are AFK, or I'm sure they're bots. I saw a couple of those shouts, at least the RMTs, I should say. And but I was surprised at how lively every zone had a person. There were people leveling. There were brand new people leveling. There were some that you knew immediately when they start calling out trusts that I know that are way past in story. There's a lot of unlocks, but it's fine. And there's some other ones that are brand new. You see the little leaf that tells you, the Mandragora leaf, that they're a brand new player. And yes, you can turn that off if you know where the button is, so you won't look like a noob. But it was an interesting experience, and we're happy we're back. There's no XP loss for the first 31 levels. I'm like, wait, what? Which is good because I tested that theory out. I see that I still have not stopped my penchant for going in head first. Going, oh yeah, that was the wrong way. Oh crap. That hasn't changed. But it's been really cool, and we've had situations where going through missions and remembering things, and so I just had a stupid grin on my face the whole time. And I'm happy that the things that had caused me to stop before are not there. I am positive I'm gonna find new ones. But I'm enjoying the time that it is, and because the game is a lot more streamlined, you can just pick up and play for an hour or two and be able to feel as if you're accomplished. At least that's my opinion on it. So been here for a week. I'm now level 33. I've gotten my Sandoria mission up. I'm now rank 3. I've gotten records of eminence. Half of them are already off from the tutorial, so that's good. And the Rhapsodies of Vana'diel is moving along, so I'm able to call, I think, 3 or 4. I think it's 4. Yeah, 4 NPCs out right now, so that's great. And so it's really interesting. It took me time to kind of wrap my head around, okay, that's now replaced. I can get here faster. The idea that I was able to just straight up, use accolades to jump from city to city, which again would take half hour or more depending on just getting there, being able to get a Chocobo instantly, it was just, it was crazy. Everybody now has mounts, so no more running the whole time. You can get mounts very, very quickly. So for old players that are interested in coming back, I would say try it out. Our anniversary for the North Americans is at the end of this month in October. I don't know, I believe, even just from looking at that, there's like a fan appreciation. I believe there are times during that time that it's a welcome back to Vana'diel. If you're in my situation where you were not able to recover your old account for whatever reason, starting from scratch is not an issue. And there's a lot of people that are more than willing to help. I mean, I saw it in shouts. It's like, hey, we'll help out new players, especially vets that know at least what they're talking about. And for new players that are just kind of curious about this, fair warning, this game is 16 years old. There will be mechanics that are a little new to you. There is no hand-holding. You have no idea if a person has a quest for you, even when you talk to them sometimes. So as an example with 14, you know, you can walk into an area and just looking at your map, it can tell you exactly who already. No, that doesn't exist in this game. There's a whole bunch of having your iPad out with, okay, where am I in this quest? But that's the stuff that we kind of figured out over time. I love the game as much as I've had a lot of time in between. I've quit a couple of times. We just kind of sit there going, I like the progression style. I like how there's certain even pieces that are like lower level that are still best in slot even at max level. You won't get that in 14. I can't walk around with my, you know, eye level 70 gear. No, that's not gonna happen. In 11 you can, in certain situations, in certain jobs, obviously. And it's very different. I think even from research, and I've never really used the phrases, 11 is horizontal progression and 14 is vertical. So if anybody's looking into that sort of thing, there is very much everybody and their mother's on Azure. So if you're interested in coming back to a server, if you want a nice populated server, it's hopping. There are no events that are going on. There's no, you know, login campaign going on. It is a normal week, no vacation, no nothing, and there's still $2 grand. There's a bunch of stuff in the auction house. I'm making money off the auction house. I didn't even think that was going to be an option. Things are expensive. There's easy ways of doing other things, but it's just, crafting is a thing and heavily encouraged and needed for high level stuff. I mean, it's just great. So I now am encouraged that there's a lot of content. There's even rumors that they're going to be adding new missions. Oh, this is great. This is for people like me who thought that the game was dead. Nope, it's very much alive. So anyway, so this is basically a compilation of the first couple of days as I get a little bit better in figuring out what frame rates I have to be using to record this well, because it doesn't look this way when I play. When I play it perfectly clean, it's nice and pretty. It's just something that I'm using, some setting that I have, and I haven't been able to figure it out, that needs to be fixed, cleaned up, tweaked, you know, whatever. And I'm still working on it. So as I get all that set up, then I will start Twitch streaming. All of that information is basically the same. So my YouTube channel and my Twitch are Arsenette. If you're interested in finding me on Twitter, it's the same name, and my Instagram is the only thing that doesn't, because for some reason somebody has my name. So I have it under Rambling Rican, that's on Instagram. But either way, until the next video, hopefully I'll be able to set it up a little bit better and have better footage. But in the meantime, we're rank 3, yay! I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.